Wow, welcome everyone. Welcome to the stream today. Hello Adonis, hello Lanka. Hello. Another day, another spooky stream. Oh, thank you Nonamo for the 10 months. Much appreciated. Welcome. Also a reminder at the corner on my left side, I have pre-orders open right now. On my big cartel, we can check the pin message in chat. So pre-orders for my acrylic standee is until October 21st. So if you want to, you have a chance to pre-order. I think the mic is slightly loud over the mic or the music. Oh, music is loud. Okay. Lower. Okay, hopefully that's good now. But yes, if you're interested in pre-ordering, you can just check out the chat, and there's a pin message for my big cartel, because apparently big cartel cooperates a lot better than Etsy is at the moment. But that's okay, it'll still work just as fine. Please pre-order and check it out. If they're popular, maybe I'll restock them, but we'll see. I am planning to at least make a sticker variant, so if you can't get the acrylic standee, you can always get a sticker of it later. Yeah, very cute and funny. Is anyone doing good today? Also, hello Lanka again. Gonna play more Umineko today. I'm literally dying. Don't die, Lanka. I will cure you with my kuni. Nope, only doing bad things today. Dang. Nonamo is scheming. Whether that means he's gonna steal a bank or he's not doing so bueno right now. If it isn't cold, then it's allergies. I know, I've been sneezing a lot lately. It could be because I'm playing with the cat a lot. But there's also a lot of butterflies in my area. There's like a lot of yellow butterflies flying all over the neighborhood. So that could also be linked to some allergies. Maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah, Spring is my enemy. Yeah, Spring the kitty and Liza P. He reminds me of my previous cat because I used to have an orange cat. Speaking of Liza P, I'm finally getting around to drawing it again. I'm taking a small break from what was it? Pinocchio Inktober. I'm still gonna do it, but I'm just gonna take a little off time from it. Maybe after stream I'll work on it because it's very small piece anyway. Wait, no, spring bunnies. We spook bunnies. Yeah, spooky bunnies. Hamu. Spooky dookie. It's the season of the black rabbits. Little breaks are necessary. Yeah, because the reason why I don't do a lot of Inktober prompts is I'm worried, I guess, what's the word? Burnout. But I'm taking my time with it, but also doing myself a favor by not coloring or rendering. Just line art is enough. Maybe a little grayscaling, shading, but that's it. Inktober should be fun and not stressful. But more importantly, I am done with my convention prepping, which is finally a relief because I've been working on it for months and months, and hell, I'm not even sure if my stuff are gonna sell at the convention, but we'll see. I will talk more into detail about that once we're getting closer to the event. Not sure how many people here are near the area, but I'm just gonna drop the message anyway. But here's hoping if it does go well, I can go to more conventions and sell. But that's the hope and the dream, I guess. It sounds Gucci, yes. Any leftovers I do have from the convention, I'm gonna automatically put in the shop so more people can get it. So, no worries. Haha. I got you. But also later this week, I'm gonna do a movie stream with Tooncat on Sunday, 8 p.m. on Pampu. And then I'll be spinning the Wheel of Horror once again to see what movie we'll watch next weekend. Sounds so fun. Nice. But let's get on with Umineko no Nakoko no ni. No ni ni. Oh yeah, so do 10 later maybe. In the coming weeks I'll stream like other horror games. Mostly small ones. I don't want to spend like a buttload of money because I'm saving up for Super Mario RPG next month. Very non-sus place. Friendship. Yes. Pampu's a friendship place. Where we all hold hands. And sing in unison. We go... Yeah, anyway. Let me get on with it. Yeah. I'm so small. There we go. Hope my witch hat isn't covering up too much. It is time. Do you guys want to see the opening? I'll let the opening play out. Last time we left off, we got a letter from Beatrice. Finally, we're getting closer to meeting our OnlyFans waifu. Sure, I've never seen the opening. Sure, Lanka. I've seen the anime opening though. Oh yeah, I love the anime opening actually. It was one of the few things I really liked from the anime. That opening was a banger. Not really, I haven't seen it. Oh, okay. I'll believe you, just because I can't see your nose growing. Oh god, I can't wait till we see the 7 stakes of purgatory. I know that's probably spoilers for some of you. God, I just want to get through Umineko so I can see all this cool shit. Maybe next year we'll play Umineko Chiru, which is the sequel. It has my favorite girl in there, Erika. Satan was cute. I know. They were all cute, honestly. Gave me inspiration for some OCs I made later on, which I no longer cling to, but it's a nice memory. Oh, finally. Umineko. Okay. Stato. Okay, reading time, story time. Story time, everyone. Get your snackies. I got my water, which I'm gonna be needing, obviously. Okay. A strange letter from the witch has entrusted Maria with had wiped all memories from dinner on our minds. Maria had been repeatedly barragged with questions by Rosa and the other parents. Okay, we're back in the house. Yeah, we got a letter from Beato and be like, hey, this gold I have here, it's gonna be somewhere, so if you find it, I'll give it all to you, but if you can't, well, you're fucked, I guess. And was now in the worst of tempers because no one would believe her. Even when we kids tried to talk to her, she would just ignore us. Our parents were all stirred up over the gold, firing back and forth about the distribution of assets and completely forgetting that we children were never there. Even though I had figured that they had been talking about this in the shadows, I never thought they'd be in this blunt about it, and at least to us kids, it was a considerable shock. From when we were over here, all of our parents wanted as much money as possible as soon as possible. Relatable. Back and forth about grandfather's inheritance. Back and forth about the distribution of the gold if it was found. I wonder if this is actual gold or a metaphor. We will see. Back and forth about the distribution of gold it was found, about advance payments and cash, and it was despicable. I couldn't bear to watch, even though one of them was my dad. I wish I could afford a down payment on the closet. Relatable. Yeah. It looked like Jessica felt the same way. We felt our seats, although no one had asked us to leave. We went and hang out somewhere apart from the parents.
なるほどな。じいさまが飯の席にも顔を出したくない理由がよーくわかったよ。
I see. Now I really understand why grandfather didn't want to show his face during meals.
うちの親たちにはすっかり幻滅だぜ。金だの遺産だの。 よくもまああそこまで大っぴらに。
I am so disillusioned with our parents now. The money, the inheritance. How could they act like that right out in the open?
俺の場合はクソ親父に幻滅しきってるからよ。これ以上評価の下がりようがないぜ。
I don't like Battler's sprite animation. It just looks like he's talking through his teeth. Literally. Well, I'm already completely disillusioned with the old bastard. There's no way I could think any worse of him.
そんなの私だって同じだぜ。しかし今夜のには呆れたぜ。心底呆れたぜ。
And you think I'm not? But even so, that freaking shocked me. Shot me to the bottom of my heart. Jessica looked down on the floor, irritated. She was already talking about how bad her parents were, but maybe she hadn't felt that way deep inside. I could realize that from the depths of Jessica's shock.
未成年の君たちはご両親に養育してもらってるからわからないだろうけど、お金を得るというのは単純な綺麗事じゃないよ。未成年である今にそれを理解しろとは言わない。でもご両親なりに何かの努力をしていることだけは認めてあげてほしいな。
You're both minors and still brought up by your parents, so you might not understand. But getting money is neither a simple nor a pretty thing. You are still minors, so I won't try to force you to understand right now, but still. I'd like you to realize that your parents are just doing their best on their own way.
やれやれ。
Oh, great.
ジョージの兄貴は人間ができてるぜ。
Trojaniki's gone all mature.
ジョージ兄さんは社会人になってバリバリ働いてるけどよ。金とか財産とかそういう話になったらうちの親父たちみたいに強欲むき出しのハゲタカになれるってのかよ。
I know that you're working hard as a full-fledged member of the society, but does that mean that when the conversation turns to money and asses and stuff, you're capable of turning into a shameless, greedy vulture like our dads?
自分だけの話だったらそんなことはしたくないよ。でも家族や社員、部下やその家族の生活を背負ったら戦わなければならない時もあるかもしれない。
If it would just be about me, then no, I wouldn't want to do that. However, when your family and your employees and your subordinates and their families are all counting on you, there are some times where you must fight.
私はそんな戦い嫌だぜ。小さなの遺産がどうのこうのなんて話ヘドが出るぜ。
I hate that kind of fight. That back and forth about grandfather's inheritance, it just makes me want to puke. Bleh. Jessica pretended to spit violently. Bleh. That harsh reaction made the depths of her pain very clear.
もうこの話はやめようぜ。
George with those glasses looks so scary. He's doing that anime trope where your glasses fog up and then you look really intense. Let's stop talking about this.
じい様の隠し黄金がどうのこうの、財産だ遺産だって話は親たちの問題で俺たちの問題じゃないさ。
Hello, Porky. Welcome, welcome. You didn't miss too much. Just people discussing how greedy and unfortunate their parents are because of the inheritance money. Let's stop talking about this. All of this about grandfather's hidden gold, about property and inheritances. It's our parents' problem, not ours.
僕も同感だよ。
I agree.
せめて気を利かせて親たちの話し合いを邪魔しないのが子供の務めだと思うね。
At the very least, I think that being considerate and staying out of the parents' way when they're talking is the duty of their children. Huh.
なんだか面白くねえぜ。
Where's the fun in that? Everyone knew the phrase, adults are filthy. But we had now seen that for ourselves, and that really did give us a shock. George Aniki was now pretty much an adult, and I had already been disillusioned with my dad in the first place, so the shock wasn't that big for us. But it looked like it was different for Jessica. It looked like the shock that Jessica had received was even bigger than I had thought. This girl, she was always talking badly about her parents, but it looked like she hadn't changed at all on the inside since long ago. Even now, she was still a pure-hearted and delicate person who couldn't doubt others. I'm sure she respected her parents as much as anyone else does, and then her parents started joining in with all the other parents right in front of us children. Going, money, money, inheritance, inheritance, my money, so it was no surprise that the shock of hearing that was so big.
ジェシカちゃん、
Jessica-chan,
どうか お父さんとお母さんのことを嫌いにならないで、理解しろとまでは言わないから、せめてどうか嫌いにならないであげて。
Jessica-chan, please don't start hating your mother and father. I won't ask you to understand them, but at least don't hate them.
分かってるよ。少し放っておいてくれよ。
I get it, just leave me alone for a bit. 6 years ago, I would have further taunted that dejected Jessica, but even I had grown up over the past 6 years. I realized that it would be better to leave Jessica as she was right now. Jessica suddenly looked away sulkily and left the parlor. She probably wanted to be left alone for now. I could do nothing but wordlessly watch her back as she left.
そういえばマリアちゃんはどこに行ったんだろう。
Come to think of it, I wonder where Maria-chan went.
多分まだ肖像画の前でいじけてるんだろうぜ。
She's probably still hurtled up on the floor in front of the portrait. Maria, who truly looked up to witches, had expected that coming in direct contact with Beatrice and receiving the letter as proof would be an event that would surprise everyone and make them happy. However, the adults had doubted its authenticity and had not taken Maria's story at face value and had thoroughly bombarded her with questions. Also, hello Ludwig. Welcome, welcome. Even I didn't find it hard to imagine how much that must have hurt Maria. We couldn't speak to either Maria or Jessica, and in the end, George and Nikki had just abandoned ourselves to the sound of the falling rain and the dark night. Hold on. Okay.
台風はどんな感じなんだろうね。ニュースをやってないかな。
I wonder what's happening with the typhoon. Maybe there's some news. George and Nikki walked over to the corner of the parlor where the television was. He hadn't called me over and I really couldn't have cared less when the typhoon was on the sea now. So I didn't go on the television but instead loitered around the window.
そんなに風は出てなさそうだけど、海の上はひどいのかしらね。
The wind hasn't picked up much here, but I wonder if that's horrible over the sea.
天気予報では暴風警報も聞いてたんだけど。
I didn't hear from the weather report, but there was a severe storm warning.
キリエさんか。
Ah, Kirie-san.
大人たちの積もる話はどんな感じなんすか？
Is this a prequel of When They Cry? No, I think this is the current story. This is the current story of Umineko. I don't think it's a prequel or alternative universe. I think this is just, you know, them going to the island and discovering the gold and discovering Beato. But I know it does have some connection to Higurashi. I don't know, the plot is a little confusing, but hopefully replaying this game will give me a bit of a refresher and better understanding. Because I haven't played this game for like years and years already. It looked like she caught the sarcasm. Kirie shrugged.
この胃の痛くなる話は徹夜で続くのかしら。
That stomach ache of a discussion could continue all night.
嫌になるわ。
It's very tiring.
まあせいぜいよろしく。じい様の財産分配についてハゲタカごっこをお楽しみくださいってんだ。最低の気分だぜ。
Well, all I can say is I hope you enjoy playing vultures to grandfather's property to your heart's content. It's disgusting.
それに関しては同感よ。
I'll agree with you on that.
バトラ君みたいに席が外せるなら、私もそうしたいわ。
If I could just slip away like you, I would do it.
でもそうもいかない。
Unfortunately, I cannot.
たとえ発言権がなくてもね。
Even if I'm not allowed to speak.
パートナーも大変よ。
It's not easy being a partner, you know. They say Kingdom Hearts has a confusing plot, but all fate don't joke about weird and complicated universe. That's true, that's true. I don't fully know the full story between the connection between Umineko and Higurashi. I just know there's some characters that resemble other characters in those universes. That as much as I know. Kirie-san sighed and smiled bitterly. Well, yeah. They probably won't let Kirie-san, who married into the family, speak. Still, as his partner, she has no choice but to stay by his side and support him. Being in the line of fire, she must be having to bear far greater mental pressures than me. I wasn't going to apologize, but realizing that I had spoken too harshly, I cut the sarcasm for the time being.
どんな感じなんすか？
How does it look?
相変わらず謎の魔女ベアトリーチェの話題で持ちきりですか？
Are they still stuck on the topic of the mysterious witch Beatrice?
まあね、
More or less.
あの人たちはおじい様が亡くなった時の遺産分配について兄弟4人で話をまとめようとずっと密約を重ねてきた。
More or less, they've been piling up secret agreements for some time, hoping for some kind of agreement between the four of them and the distribution of the grandfather's inheritance after his death.
そこへ未知の5人目が現れて話をややこしくしようっていうんだから穏便な話なわけもないわ。
And now some unknown fifth person has appeared to make things even more complicated, so there's no way that'll make for a peaceful conversation.
互いを罵り合ったりかと思えば共闘しようってことになったり、夏日姉さんでなくても頭痛がしてくるところよ。
One moment they're snarling at each other, the next will set up a common front. Natsuhine-san not the only one getting headaches. On one hand, they all wanted a large portion than the other siblings, so we're all rivals. But on the other hand, they didn't want 1 yen to be snatched up by anyone other than the siblings, so they're all also allies. I couldn't get her to tell me the details, but they were apparently arguing about their ceasefire agreements and rules to prevent anyone from getting ahead, the situations under which their portion would be protected, and what legal measures would be taken in the worst case scenario. By this point, my emotions had shot straight past disgust, and now I perceived them as a force to be reckoned with.
ってことはさしずめベアトリーチェはじい様からの資格ってとこですかね。自分抜きで遺産の分配なんて話を勝手に進めてた息子たちに一泡吹かせたかったんだろうぜ。
So basically, Beatrice is like a saboteur sent by grandfather. He probably wanted to scare the hell out of the children for just talking about the distribution of the inheritance without him.
何者かしらね、ベアトリーチェって。自称してることが全て本当なら、今日まで誰にも知られずにいた謎の人物で、しかもおじい様の隠し黄金の存在を知っていて。
Who is this Beatrice, I wonder? If she is who she says she is, then she's a mystery that no one knew about until today, and she also knows about the existence of grandfather's hidden gold.
その上、当主の指輪まで委ねられている。相当に信頼された人物ね。
Furthermore, she has been entrusted with the head's ring. She must truly have been trusted by him.
さすがにほうきにまたがった魔女だとは思わないっすけど、でも魔女と呼ぶに値する怪人物であることは間違いないっすね。
Well, obviously, I don't think that she's a witch riding on a broom, but she's surely a person mysterious enough to merit being called a witch.
マリアちゃんがそのあたりのことを詳しく話してくれればいいのだけど。
I just hope Maria-chan will go into more detail about that.
みんな小さい子にがっつきすぎだわ。
Even though she's just a little girl, everyone has just been chewing her up over this.
すっかり怯えてしまって、聞けるものも聞けなくなってしまった。
It really scared her, and now we can't even ask her things she might have answered.
あの人たち、北風と太陽とか読んだことないのかしら。
I wonder if those people have ever read The North Wind and the Sun.
確かなのはマリアがベアトリーチェと名乗る人物から手紙を受け取ったこと。
Man, they can't leave the poor lolly alone. What is for certain that Maria received a letter from a person who took the name Beatrice?
自分で現れて直接話せばいいものも、手紙を託して今もどこかに身を潜めているっていうシャイな怪人物ですけどね。
I know, those adults need some correcting. They're not treating the lolly well enough. Entrusting Maria with the letter and hiding away even now, when she could have just appeared and talked to us directly, she sure is shy for a mystery person.
ねえ、バトラ君。
Hey, Patakun.
ベアトリーチェなんて人物が本当にいると思う？
Do you think that someone called Beatrice actually exists?
さあ、あくまでも偽名じゃないっすかね。じい様の代理人としてその妄想の中の魔女の名を名乗ることを許されたとか。
Who knows? It's probably just a false name, right? Like she's grandfather's representative, so she was permitted to take the name of the witch for his delusions.
そうじゃなくて、今この六軒島には 全部で18人いるの。19人目が存在すると思う？
No, that's not what I meant. Right now, there are a total of 18 people here on Rokajima. Do you think there is a 19th person? Are there really a whole 18 person on this island? Wondering about that, I began counting on my fingers, and it didn't really come out to 18 people.
19人目が存在すると思うって。どういう意味ですか？
Do I think that a 19th person exists, you say? What exactly do you mean?
言葉通りの意味よ。
Just what I said.
マリアちゃんに傘を貸した人物は私たち18人の中にはいないらしい。なら19人目がいて、その人物がマリアちゃんに傘を貸したと思うのが妥当じゃない？
It looks like the person who lent Maria that umbrella was not just us 18. Therefore, it isn't reasonable to think that a 19th person exists, and that was the person who lent Maria the umbrella.
ま、そうなりますね。
Well, yes, I suppose.
ならその人物は今どこにいるの？
And where exactly is this person now?
少なくとも雨が降り出した瞬間には島にいた。そしてその後はどんどん天気は悪化して、とても船なんか出せない状態となれば、その人物はまだ島の中にいて、どこかで雨宿りをしていなくてはならない。私たち誰の目にも触れずね。
Then where exactly is this person now? At the very least, she must have been on the island when it started raining. And since that time, the weather has become progressively worse, so taking a boat out would be pretty much impossible. In that case, that person must still be on an island, hiding from the rain somewhere, and without being spotted by any of us.
確かに。俺たちは屋敷やゲストハウスの中を勝手にうろつき回ってましたが、誰も19人目なんかには会ってないわけですよね。
Certainly, all of us have been randomly prowling all over the mansion and the guest house, but no one has bumped into a 19th person.
でもまあ、これだけの広さのある島ですし、屋敷やゲストハウス以外に雨宿りできるところだってあるのかも。
Even so, this island is huge. There might be other places to hide from the rain outside the mansion and the guest house. At around this time, I began to realize that direction Kirie-san's doubts were taking us in. Kirie-san was denying that a 19th person existed. Beatrice was one of us 18. In other words, she thought that someone we knew well was using her name.
ベアトリーチェが自称する通りなら、その人物は間違いなく最高の賓客よ。
If Beatrice really was, she has described herself, this person probably definitely be the most honored of
お
guests,
じい様が信頼する最高の腹心。
the most honored of confidants trusted by grandfather.
そんな人物をおじい様が歓待しないわけがない。
Here's a way that grandfather wouldn't give that kind of person a warm reception.
お屋敷に迎え入れないわけはないのよ。でも私たちは誰も見ていない。
She would surely have been ushered into the mansion. However, we haven't seen anyone.
待ってくださいよ。それはちょいと請求な推理じゃないですか？
Wait a second, isn't this line of reasoning a little too hasty?
確かに誰の目にも触れてはいないけれど、だからって19人目を否定することにはならないんじゃないですか？
Yes, no one has spotted them, but that doesn't mean that you can deny the possibility that a 19th person exists, right?
何かの理由があってこっそり上陸してずっと隠れているのかも。
Maybe for some reason they landed on the island stealthily and have been hiding ever since.
悪魔の証明ってやつっすよ。
Is what they call the devil's proof.
いることを証明するのはたやすい。ベアトリーチェってやつが俺たちの前に現れて挨拶すりゃ解決する。でも19人目がいないことを証明するのは不可能っすよ。
It's what they call the devil's proof. It's easy to prove that something exists. If this Beatrice appears in front of all of us and says hi, then everything is resolved. But it's impossible to prove that there is no 19th person.
バトラ君の推理の仕方は悪くないわ。現在の状況では19人目の存在を認めるにも否定するにも情報が足りない。でもね、チェス盤をひっくり返して考えると ほぼ19人目はありえないって断言できちゃうのよ。
Yes, Battler-kun, your way of reasoning isn't bad. In the current situation, there's not enough information to either accept that a 19th person exists or deny it. But if you flip over the chessboard and think of it that way, we can be nearly sure that the existence of a 19th person is impossible. Flip over the chessboard was one of Kiri-san's favorite phrases. I sincerely love how the Yoshinomi family overthinks everything. It sounds like the usual family gathering here. Yeah, it's always a lot of speculation because you can't trust anyone. Everyone is sus in their own way. I've always been influenced by those words and used them myself from time to time. You get stuck trying to find a move in chess or shogi. By flipping the chessboard over and looking at everything from your opponent's standpoint, you can often see a strategy that would give you the upper hand. Depart from this, it means to think by putting yourself in the other opponent's shoes.
いい？
Okay?
仮に19人目の人物としてベアトリーチェが実在したとして、その人物は誰にも知られることなくこっそりとこの島に上陸し、ずっと隠れていた。
It's just so Japanese. Sassy.
何かの理由があってね。ならどうしてわざわざ姿を現してマリアちゃんに手紙を渡したの？
Okay, let's say that a 19th person called Beatrice actually exists. That person must have managed without being seen by anyone to stealthily arrive on this island and remain hidden since then. They had some reason for this, yes? In that case, why did they deliberately appear before Maria and hand her the letter? It was really a contradiction. If they had some reason for hiding themselves, they should have just stayed hidden the whole time, but they had appeared openly in front of Maria.
それはほらマリアも言ってた。メッセンジャーにされたって言ってたじゃないですか。マリアが一番年下で素直そうだったからじゃ。
Well, wait. Maria even said it. Didn't she say that she had been made a messenger, since Maria was the youngest and looked the most innocent?
メッセンジャーなんて必要なの？
Why would you need a messenger?
手紙を親族会議の席上に送りたかったら郵送すればいいだけの話よ。4人の兄弟全員に郵送すれば黙殺することもできない。手紙を持参してこっそり手渡す理由がないのよ。
If they just wanted a letter delivered to the family conference, why couldn't they have mailed it? If they had mailed it to each other for the 4 siblings, they would have been unable to ignore it. There was no need for them to carry it themselves and secretly hand it over.
確かになんだかおかしな話っすね。
It really does sound pretty weird. Also, hello, Lord Mythos. Welcome, welcome.
そもそもベアトリーチェが存在していて、
We're going
その
into
存在をアピー
Sassy
ルしたい
mode
な
in
ら
Umineko.
みんなの前に堂々と姿を現せばいいだけの話。
In the first place, if Beatrice existed and she wanted to make her presence known to everyone, then she could have just openly presented herself to all of us.
なのに現れず、マリアちゃんという小さな子を通しておぼろげな輪郭だけでその存在を主張しようとする曖昧さ。
Hope you're doing well, Lord Mythos.
矛盾。もっと考えて。
In the first place, if Beatrice existed and she wanted to make her presence known to everyone, then she could have just openly presented herself to all of us. Despite that, she chose the vague method of appearing through a little girl called Maria-chan, and only gave us an indistinct impression of who she was. Contradiction. Let's go a little deeper, shall we?
マリアちゃんの前に姿を現し、19人目の存在を印象づけるという点と、にもかかわらず、今この瞬間も私たちの前に姿を現さず隠れ続けている点、これらの矛盾、これを念頭に置いた上でチェス盤をひっくり返すの。
She appeared in front of Maria, trying to give us the impression that a 19th person existed, and yet she still hasn't appeared before us and hiding somewhere at this very moment. The contradiction between these. Keep it in mind and flip over the chessboard. Chessboard. There we go.
つまり19人目の人物としてベアトリーチェがいると印象づけたい人物の目論みは何かよ。
In other words, the question is, why would a person want to give the impression that Beatrice exists as a 19th person?
姿を隠したい人物なら その存在をアピールするわけがない。
If this person wanted to hide, then why would they have made their presence unknown?
そして姿を現したい人物なら手紙を託すなんて遠回しをするわけがない。
And if they wanted to show themselves, they would have used the roundabout approach of entrusting someone with the letter.
ってことは
Which means,
簡単よ。
it's simple.
ベアトリーチェは18人の中にいるのよ。
Beatrice is one of us 18.
だからこそ18人以外の人物が存在するような幻想を作り出しているのよ。
That is why they're creating the illusion that there is someone outside of the 18.
これ見よがしな19人目のアピール。
Part of was the suggestion of a 19th person.
それで得をするのは姿を潜めた19人目じゃない。
The only person who could profit from this would not be some 19th person in hiding.
すでにいる18人の方なのよ。
It would be one of the original 18 people.
もちろんこの推理は穴だらけ。
Of course, this reasoning is full of holes.
いくつかの前提がひっくり返るだけですぐに崩れる脆いものだけど、
If you turn over even a few of its premises, it will simply fall apart.
私はほぼ間違いないと見てるわ。
But I think it is almost certainly correct. This was quickly starting to sound pretty creepy. Who had lent Maria the umbrella and handed her the letter? All of the 18 had been ruled out, and yet Beatrice was hiding amongst those 18. What was that person planning, hiding their true form and pretending to be Beatrice?
マリアちゃんの自作自演も疑ったんだけど、文章の内容が非常に手が込んでて、マリアちゃんが自前で用意したとは考えがたい。
I also suspected that it might have been Maria play acting, but the contents of the message were extremely complicated, so it's hard to think that Maria-chan prepared it herself. Hold on. There we go. Forgot to put that up.
でもマリアちゃんが何者かと共謀している可能性も否定できないわ。
However, I cannot deny the possibility that Maria-chan is working together with someone.
おいおい、マリアは9歳のお子様だぜ。
Oh, wait a second. Maria's a 9-year-old kid.
誰と何を共謀するってんだよ。
What on earth could you suspect her of planning, and with who?
しかも愚直で真面目で素直なあの性分だぜ。
And what about her serious, too honest and obedient character?
ええ、私もマリアちゃんの性分はよく理解しているわ。
Yes, I also understand that kind of person Maria-chan is.
でもだからこそありえると思うの。
But I think that's exactly why it's possible.
魔女に憧れ、その存在を盲信している夢見がちな少女。
That girl's a dreamer who looks up to and blindly accepts the existence of witches.
そこにベアトリーチェと名乗る人物が現れて魔女だと名乗ったら、彼女はそれを大喜びで鵜呑みにして信じるんじゃないかしら。
So if a person appeared in front of her and said that they were the witch Beatrice, Maria-chan would be so happy that she would just swallow it up, I think.
つまりあの肖像画のごついドレスを着て変装すればマリアを騙すことは難しくないと。
Maria-chan just wants to dress up as a witch and go to Hot Topic. Yeah, she wants to be Witch-chan. Goth, edgy Witch-chan. Probably like a scene kid. So you're saying that if someone disguised himself by wearing that fancy dress from the portrait and tricking Maria wouldn't be that hard?
その論法になっちゃうと、私たち女性陣はみんな疑われちゃうことになるんだけどね。
Of course, with that reasoning, all of us women would become the primary suspects.
とにかくマリアちゃんが何者に出会ったのか、
Anyway, who did Maria-chan encounter?
それの詳細を聞くことがこの謎を解く一番にして最も身近な鍵なのよ。
Asking her the details of that would be our best and closest key to solving that riddle.
しかしその鍵は少女の心の奥に堅くなに閉ざされてしまったわ。
But that key has been disobediently closed up inside her heart.
みんなが頭ごなしに魔女の存在を否定し、 一体その人物は誰なのかと問い詰めすぎた。マリアちゃんは当分大人には心を開かないでしょうね。
Everyone denied the existence of the witch without listening to her, and berated her with too many questions about who Beatrice actually was. Maria-chan probably won't open her heart to the adults now. In a dim hall in front of the portrait of Beatrice, Maria was sobbing. Who made this lolly cry? Poor Maria-chan.
誰もね、マリアがベアトリーチェに会ったことを信じてくれない。ベアトリーチェとくれた手紙も見せたのに、それでも信じてくれないの。
No one believes I met you. I showed them the letter you gave me, but they still don't believe.
とにかく鍵はマリアちゃんが握ってるわ。
Anyway, Maria-chan's holding the key.
ベアトリーチェが18人の中にいるのか19人目なのか、それを知る鍵をね。
Maria-chan's holding the key to whether Beatrice is one of the 18 people or a 19th person.
マリアは頑固だぜ。
Maria's stubborn, you know.
あいつへそを曲げるとなかなか機嫌を直さないからな。
That girl, when she gets angry, it's pretty hard to make her feel better.
大人の私より子供のバトラ君の方が機嫌を直せる確率は高そうよ。
Batra-kun, I think there's a higher probability of a kid like you cheering her up than an adult like me.
彼女の機嫌が直ったら聞いてみて。
After she feels better, try asking her.
遺産分配がどうのこうのって話には関心ないけど。
I know you don't care about all this back and forth on the distribution of the
こ
inheritance.
んな王道洋館ミステリーみたいなシチュエーションにはワクワクしちゃわない？マリアちゃんに手紙を渡した人物は一体誰なのか。知的好奇心がうずくわ。
But don't you think this classic Western mansion mystery situation is exciting? Who in the world is this person who gave Maria-chan the letter? It makes my intellectual curiosity tingle.
うんざりするような金の話に付き合わされてもワクワクとは実にタフなことだぜ。
I know Battler doesn't even look like a teen. He looks like a young adult at most. Also, the key to unlock the door to reveal the mystery of illuminate the truth. Yes, we must unlock the heart of the lolly to know all the secrets. Bruh, I've been called a kid by older people before when asked to deal with actual children. Yeah, relatable. I still get called a high schooler every now and then, even though I'm in my 30s already. But whatever, I guess. Guess I'm having that Peter Pan syndrome. If all being made to sit through the boring money talks, you can call this exciting? You really are tough.
大人はすげえや。
Adults are something else. I shrug, exasperated. There we go. But I had realized. She had noticed the dejection I was feeling because I had overheard our parents' turbulent discussion, and was probably trying to turn my mood around. She had at least managed to make me feel good enough to hurl abuse. She wasn't my real mother, so I never feel like calling her mom. But it did make me think she's a real adult.
おうガキども、ここにいたのか。
Hey, Brad, so this is where you were.
キリエも長え化粧直しじゃねえか。
Yeah, no one believes I'm an adult. Still get asked for my ID when wanting to drink liquor. Hey, Brad, so this is where you were. Kirie, you really took your time fixing your makeup, didn't you?
俺も次からは化粧をしてくることにするぜ。
From now on, I'll start wearing it too.
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
女の化粧は長いのよ。
A woman's makeup takes a long time. That is true.
どう？
So,
兄弟水入らずの話し合いは。
so how was the discussion been without me?
さぞや和気あいあいとしてるだろうよ。
Yeah, I'm sure everything was all peaceful and harmonious. Blessed miss with the paralleliness. Yes. Kitty-san poked the weak spot under my arm with her elbow.
一度頭を冷やそうってことで小休止さ。
We decided to take a break to cool our heads a little.
こりゃ夜通しになりそうだぜ。
It looks like it'll last all night.
泣けてくれ。
I could cry. His way of talking hadn't changed, but he couldn't completely hide his fatigue. I couldn't say I was sympathetic, but he looked pitiful compared to his normal energetic self.
しかしひでえ雨だな。
Still, this rain is just awful.
ゲストハウスに戻るのも嫌になるぜ。
I really don't want to go back to the guest house.
夏日姉さんが屋敷で泊まれるよう準備してくれたらしい。
It looks like Natsu Nessa made preparations for us to spend the night here in the mansion.
どうする？
What'll we do?
3階になった時に考えてもいいんじゃない？
We don't need to think about that until you're done, right?
部屋に戻る体力もなくなってたら、その時はお世話になりましょうよ。
If you run out of enough energy to head back to your room, then we can let them take care of us.
そうね。
You're right.
その時に考えりゃいいか。
We can think about it later.
バトラーはどうする？
What about you, Butler?
俺がいちゃお邪魔だろうからよ。
If I say it, I just get in the way.
気使って向こうに戻るぜ。
It'll be nice to go back over there.
そうか。
Okay.
すぐ戻るのか。
Will you go back soon?
さあな。
I don't know.
一人で戻ったって寂しいしよ。
It'd be lonely to head back by
子供
myself.
全員で揃って帰ることにするぜ。
I'll head back with the rest of the kids as a group.
そうだな。
Yeah,
そうするといい。
that'd be good.
それでバトラー、
So, Butler,
お前今夜はそうは簡単には寝ないだろう。
you won't just be going to sleep that easily, right?
多分いとこたちとおしゃべりしてるだろうからな。
Yeah, I'll probably be talking with the cousins.
夜更かししそうな気配はあるぜ。
It feels like we might be up all night.
それがどうかしたのかい？
Is there a problem with that?
そうか。
Okay.
もし大人たちの会議が終わってお前がまだ起きてたらちょいと家族でしたい話があるんだ。
If when the adult discussion is over, you are all still awake, I will want to have talk as a family.
なんだよ。
Up all night with the cousins? Dang. Talk about a hot, sweaty night. Also, hello, 8 legs and 4 eyes. Welcome, welcome.
笑
What?
いもねえな。
That doesn't sound like you. Apparently, Kiryu-san was thinking the same thing. What are you talking about? She asked him in a small voice. It looked like Kiryu-san didn't have a clue what Dad was talking about either.
キリエにも聞いてもらいたい話だ。
I want to talk to you all about it as well.
後で話すから。
I will tell you later, so don't ask now.
頼む。
Please. I don't think there's anyone who ignores the family as much as this old bastard. And this was the guy that was asking us to talk as a family. Both Kiryu-san and I couldn't help but get wide-eyed.
そうビビった顔すんなよ。
Don't make that scared-looking face.
ビビりてえのは俺の方なんだ。
I'm the one that should be scared.
何しろ。
I mean, at this point, he swallowed his words for an instant. I don't remember Dad being the kind of person to artificially drum up suspense.
気持ち悪いぜ親父。
You're freaking me out, Dad.
今家族は全員揃ってるじゃねえかよ。
You've got your family all here right now.
もったいぶらずに言えよ。
Quite beating around the bush and spit it out.
俺は多分
I'm probably
今夜殺されるだろうな。
gonna get murdered tonight. Uh-oh. Moited. Moited mention. What? What? This is foreshadowing something. There is a huge crash of thunder. I must have been really close. Dad's expression, brightly illuminated by the lightning, was buried into my eyes. That's okay, a little murder surely is okay. Just a little. Dad's face, which looked so sure of itself, and which always wore a taunting expression, was for some reason that I couldn't explain, strangely frail. It was so worn out that he looked like a different person.
は？
Eh, nani?
何言ってんだよ、柄でもね。
What are you talking about? That doesn't sound like you.
同感よ。
I agree.
どうしたの？急に弱気ね。あなたらしくもない。
I agree. What happened? You look so timid all of a sudden. It's not like you.
俺も化粧直しに行ってくる。ついてくんなよ。
I'm gonna fix my makeup. Don't follow me. Dad turned away weakly. After that, only Kid and I were left still wide-eyed.
なんだってんだ
What the hell was that?
今夜殺される
He's gonna get murdered tonight?
まさかあの妙な手紙のせいで親父ビビっちまったのか連続殺人者の映画の見過ぎだぜ
You don't think that mysterious letter scared him. Hasn't he been watching too many serial murder movies? Kida-san didn't answer my light-hearted words. I continued to stare at my dad's disappearing back.
バトラ君はルドルフさんに今話せと言ったら話さず立ち去った。みんなに話すことがあると言い出しながら答えなかった。どうして？チェス盤をひっくり返す。すると
Badler-kun, when you told Rudolph-san to talk about it, he left without telling us anything. Even though he said that he had something to say to everyone, he didn't answer you. Why? Flip over the chessboard, and when you do,
話すと言っておきながら話せない矛盾
there's a contradiction when he said that he wanted to talk, but then couldn't.
なんすかね親父側から見ると何か見えてきますか
What can you see anything by looking from Dad's perspective?
ええ、見えるわよ。
Yes, I can see something.
話したいことがある。
He wants to talk about something.
でも自分から言い出す勇気がない。
However, he doesn't have the courage to bring it up.
だから追ってきて俺に話しかけて聞き出してくれが正解ね。ついてくるなも逆の意味よ。ついてきて俺を問い詰めてくれが正解。まったく甘えん坊さんなんだから。
So he actually means, in that case, chase after me, talk to me, and question it out of me. But he also means the opposite when he says, don't follow me. He actually means, follow me and force me to answer. Honestly, what a spoiled little child.
いえ
What?
そういう推理でいいんすか
Are you sure that theory's okay?
そんなんめちゃくちゃな
That's ridiculous.
名探偵や名刑事が男女の気持ちや心を推理できる？できないでしょ？異性の気持ちを探るのは何次元のトリックを暴くよりはるかに高度な技術なのよ。私に言わせれば名作推理小説より恋愛小説の方がよっぽど難解なミステリーなんだから。
Can great detectives deduce the emotions of feelings between men and women? They can't, right? Figuring out the feelings of the opposite sex is an even more advanced art than exposing the tricks in difficult crime cases. If you ask me, romance novels are a much deeper mystery than the masterpiece mystery novels.
はあ
I see.
そういうもんすかね
Is that how it is?
私はあの甘えん坊さんと一緒にいるわ。
I'll be with that spoiled little child.
普段は虚勢を張ってるけど、今夜はかなりの激論で疲れ切ってる。
He normally loves to act tough, but tonight he's completely tired out from all the heated discussion.
誰かに寄りかかりたい気持ちなんでしょうね。
He probably wants someone to lean on at the moment.
それに応えるのがパートナーの役目よ。
And responding to that need is the duty of his partner.
はあそりゃお熱いことで
Sounds passionate.
じゃあうちのクソ親父の世話をよろしく頼みますよ
Then I'll leave the old bastard in your hands.
ええ、任せておいて。
Yep, leave it to me. As Kitty-san departed, I called out to her.
え
Huh?
何？
What?
いやありがとよって
I wanted to say thanks.
おかげで陰鬱な気分がだいぶ晴れたぜ
Thanks to you, my gloomy mood has cleared up a lot.
ならよかった。
That's good.
コミュニケーションは大事ね。
Communication is important. After answering with a wink, Kitty-san followed after Dad. Natsuki could be found in a dimly lit hallway. Now then the thunder would crash, but his head no effect on Natsuhi's expression. Her expression was completely worn out. The discussion that had taken place between the relatives in the dining hall was repeating itself inside Natsuhi's mind. Beatrice had proclaimed that in addition to the gold, the headship of all the assets of the Shinomiya family would be given to the person who could solve the riddle. In other words, she planned to undermine the absolute guarantee that Kraus as the oldest brother had to succeed the family head. Originally, the other siblings had absolutely no chance to succeed the head. To them, this proposal by Beatrice was extremely desirable. It was obviously that they would accept Beatrice's this proposal. Even without playing clumsy detective games, she knew that this so-called 19-person Beatrice couldn't exist. This was a message employing a fictional character called Beatrice as a messenger. It may as well have been written in Kinzo's own handwriting. The proof was that Kinzo remained stubbornly neutral as to the letter's authenticity. He was completely ignoring these reckless claims that he shouldn't be able to ignore, that he had given up the head's ring. In short, Kinzo had wordlessly admitted that the letter held his own message. Most likely, one of the servants had given Maria the letter. Kinzo had probably worked on an elaborate plan where the dress from the portrait would be prepared, and someone, probably Shana, would be made to wear it and deliver the letter and the umbrella. By doing that, he could make it seem like the witch from the portrait actually existed. No, if anything, this is why we couldn't be certain that Kinzo was behind all of this. In that case, it was just as if Kinzo had buttered in on the siblings' private discussion, and by announcing that he would give everything to the person who had solved the riddle, Kinzo had weakened Kraus's overwhelming advantage. Now it was certain. Kinzo had listened to on the siblings' discussion in the parlor earlier that day, so he had known that Kraus had starved off the attack by the other three, and to make the scales of the battle go back into the balance, he had sent out the strange letter that had benefited the other three. Eva and Rudolph had dragged Rosa in, who had weak position among the siblings because of her age, and when they were trying once again to overwhelm Kraus 3-on-1 and push through their crazy reasoning. And so, they had to resume what was once a nearly decided conflict and were repeatedly pressing Kraus to pay them a large amount of money. Talk about the advance payments, which had been denied once already, was being brought up again under the terms that all of the siblings would guarantee Kraus the succession of the family head. Of course, even without the story of the hidden gold, the Shinomiya family story and wealth was vast. Just how the store was worth more than enough by itself. Even if hidden gold was buried forever along with Kinzo's death, there would have been more than enough to satisfy. Therefore, even if they had no interest in the gold itself, there would be the lifelong fear that one of the off chance that someone found the gold and that person would be granted the position of family head. And this kind of Achilles heel would definitely be taken advantage by someone sooner or later. The only person with this fatal weakness was the successor of the head Kraus, and the other siblings had found. No, they had been told by Kinzo about something that only Kraus would lose, and they had thoroughly taken advantage of that. Nancy was Kraus's only ally in his painful position, and his wife had been believed that she was fighting alongside him. She kept trying to point out that the existence of the gold itself was a farce, and there was no need for him to compromise. Kraus had always told Natsuhi, he had told all of the siblings, that he had always said that the hidden gold was nothing more than a fictional created by Kinzo. Therefore, Natsuhi had believed that his wife and that One Foundation had supported her husband. Yet her words would not reach him. Even though she had been fighting so hard to lend all the strength, he continued to fight by himself and was trying to compromise with the other three siblings. Wondering why she could not be of use to him, Natsuhi felt sorrow, shame, and then anger. It had happened when everyone decided to take a short break to cool their heads. Natsuhi had flared up against Kraus, enraged as she had asked why she could not be useful to him. He had told her that he wanted to talk about something, and had invited her to one of the private rooms, which she was normally not allowed to enter. The rooms had been sealed off with a heavy-looking padlock, and using something at it had given her an uncomfortable feeling. Dang.
他の3人の言うこともベアトリーチェを名乗る不審人物の言うことも何も気にかけることはありません。
Man, she has a lot of baggage. There's no reason for you to worry about what those three or even the suspicious person who calls themselves Beatrice says.
黄金など所詮はお父様が生み出したまやかし。
After all, the gold is just a ruse created by father.
それを見つけられることなどあるわけがない。
There's no way something like that could be found.
あなたの後継ぎであることは盤石です。
It is set in stone that you will be the successor to the family.
何を恐れることがあるのです。
What are you afraid of? Kraus removed the padlock on the door. He then motioned for Natsuhi to enter.
入りたまえ。
Enter.
何ですか？
What is this?
見せたいものがある。
There is something I want to show you.
君に初めて見せるの。
I have never shown it to you before. Natsuhi timidly opened the door with a dubious expression on her face. It was pitch black. She searched for a switch to turn on the lights, but since this was her first time in the room, she didn't know where it was. Kraus entered behind her, pushing her in, and closed the door before making an attempt to turn on the lights. The two were swallowed up by the darkness. Oh, it begins? Oh boy. Only the sound of Kraus locking the door rang out through the dark.
これは何事ですか？
What are you doing?
明かりは？
The lights.
今つける。
I'm turning it on now.
待ちたまえ。
Wait. True to his words, Kraus pushed the switch on the wall and flickering lights turned up and lit up the room.
それは？
What is this? Natsuhi had her breath taken away. The room had no windows, and at a glance it appeared to be empty. In the middle of the room, a small round table has been set, and the lights brightened on the table as if it were leading part in the play. Laid on the top of the table is a red tablecloth, an elaborate design covered with dust. And on top of that, something about the size of a grown man's arm had been set down. It had something to take Natsuhi's breath away. The suspense. Holy shit, it's gold!
凄まじい純度を持つ黄金のインゴットだよ。
It's a gold ingot of incredible purity.
こいつがなければ誰も黄金伝説を信じはしなかった。
We're rich boys! We can buy endless candy! Without this, no one would have believed in the legend of the gold. It was an ingot of solid gold. Take it a run, misery. Finally, I can own Disneyland with this money. Even in the faint light, it sparkled with a noble and dignified gold glint.
こいつはまともなインゴットじゃない。
This is not a proper ingot.
このインゴットを鋳造したのが国内なのか国外なのか。
I don't even
そ
know.
れすらも私にはわからない。
I don't even know whether this was cast inside or outside the country. It takes a high-level skill to make this purest of solid gold ingots. And in order to verify that purity, it is standard to have the original foundry and the name of the bank that guarantee it imprinted on the gold. However, this ingot did not have that kind of seal. This mysterious gold bar had come from the unknown foundry.
ここを見たま
Look here.
え。怯えることはない。
There's nothing to be afraid of.
こいつはただの金。
It's just a bar of gold. That may mean something, saying that it was cast since Japan has strict laws about the import of gold. Oh, I see. Natsuhi, following Kraus's words, timidly approached the ingot.
そこだ。
Right there. Kraus pointed at the surface of the ingot. Natsuhi concentrated on that section. Right there, the thin imprint of the one-winged eagle crest. Natsuhi's breath was taken away once again.
そうだよ。
That's right.
これこそが親父がベアトリーチェに与えられたといい 保証人のマルソーの会長に任意で一つを抜き取らせて持ち帰らせ、財界のフィクサーたちを信用させたという伝説のインゴットなのだよ。方々に手を尽くして私が見つけた。他の兄弟たちより早くね。
That's right. This is a legendary ingot of that Dad said he received from the witch, that the president of the Marisol witnessed and was allowed to select a random to take back with him. That gained the trust of the fixers in the business world. I had to use all possible means to find it before the other siblings could.
そんな
How could? It makes me wonder if Rokujima is in Japan now that I think about it. Maybe there is like a place that exists where they took inspiration for this exact location. How could?
じゃあお父様の黄金伝説は
How could then? The legend of Father Gold is
実在する。
it actually exists.
後ろ宮金蔵が授けられたベアトリーチェの黄金は実在するのだ。
The gold that Yoshimiya Kinzo received from Beatrice actually exists.
そんな
How could?
本当にあるなんて
How could it really exist? Natsu was shocked. Kraus had said that the Kinzo's gold was just a fabrication, so he had believed it was his wife. However, the reality was different. He had held definite proof that he had been more certain than any other sibling that the legend of the gold was true. Because of this, Kraus was deeply frightened at the possibility that someone other than himself could find the gold and he had been failed to find, costing him everything. But to Natsu, the truth was more than enough to split open her heart. She had thought that Kraus's wife, she should be the closest confidant, which was why she had been selfishly supporting him. And yet, he had hidden this fact from her until today. Why?
そこまでに私はあなたの信頼に足りないというのですか
Have I been so undeserving of your trust?
そういうつもりはない。
I didn't mean it like that.
話す必要がなかっただけだ。
It was only that there was no need to mention it.
あなたにとっては妻は
Is that all a wife?
その程度のものなのですか
Is that all a wife means to you?
落ち着きたまえ。
Calm down.
劇場にすぐ駆られるのは君の悪い癖だ。
Becoming passionate is easily one of your bad habits.
あなたがそうさせてるんじゃないですか私は後ろ宮家に嫁ぎ今日まであなたの妻として仕えてきました
You're the one who's making me like that, aren't you? I have been supporting you as a wife ever since I married into this family.
あなたのために生まれた家を捨て身も心も捧げてお仕えしてきました
For your sake, I threw away the family I was born into. I've been offering up my heart and body to serve you.
その報いがこれなんですか
Out of return, I get this?
そんなことって
How could you? Kraus grimaced, looking annoyed. Yeah, you should slap him. His expression effectively communicated how much he disliked this part of Natsuki.
私は
I
もうあなたの力になりそうもありません
I don't think I can be of any use to you anymore.
それで
Wow, just casually be like, yeah, okay, you're not useful to me. At least you acknowledge that much. Huh. That is fine.
兄弟のトラブルを私が自分の力で解決する。
I can resolve problems between the siblings by myself.
君の力は借りるよ。
I don't need your help, dumbass woman.
違います
That's wrong.
これは後ろ宮家のトラブルです
This is a Shuramiya family's problem.
確かに私にはこの身に家紋を刻むことが許されていません
It's true that I am not permitted to have the family crest imprinted on my body,
でもあなたの妻です
but I am still your wife.
私には力添えする資格もないのですか
Well, hello, Toon Cat. You just walked into some family drama, which I guess is what Umineko is all about. Spooky witches and family drama, but you still welcome. Even so, are you saying I'm not qualified to help you?
あなた
Are you?
君を思えばこそあえて関わらせなかったのだ。
I deliberately chose not to involve you out of the consideration of you.
これ以上は頭痛に触ると
Let's not talk any further. It will likely only worsen your headache.
君は今夜はこれで休み
Take a rest for today.
兄弟の話は兄弟でつけ
The siblings will deal with the sibling problems.
君は関係ない
It has nothing to do with you.
それだ
That is all. Damn, that's cold. A dull headache tormented Natsuki. No matter what medicine she took, no matter what scent she burned, it wouldn't heal. On the other hand, by standing here alone in the dimly lit corridor, her head filled with the sound of rain, it felt like the pain has softened just a little. I may have been Natsuki, but I am not a Yoshiramiya Natsuki. Yeah, fuck that asshole. What the fuck, man? Divorce him right now. Designated as being sorry excuse for a wife, verbally abused for not being able to take care of that. Even so, I tried to properly perform the duties of a wife, but I have been rejected even by my husband. So what, he ends up murdered somehow. I mean, that possibility is possible. So I did my best raising my daughter as though it was just my last job left to me. However, my anger and sadness, having no place to go, caused me to subconsciously strain that relationship too. Because I have been excessively strict to Jessica's education, I am thoroughly disliked by her. Jessica despised me for not being interested in anything but grades. There is no longer anything I can do for the Shiramiya family. No, that's no good. Even so, I must help my husband dislodge of the schemes of the other greedy siblings. The head won't be around much longer. Eventually, Karasu would succeed the head, and the next successor will be Jessica. Strictly speaking, the man who enters the family by marrying Jessica will become the next head, but it all comes to the same thing. I have to make Jessica an excellent successor who everyone will accept as worthy to take on the Ishidamiya family. In the years to come, that greedy Ishidamiya Eva will surely be continually plotting to find some fault with the main family. So that if all goes as she plans, Jessica will be dragged down from the succession, with George in her place. It is regrettable, but George is a man, and even more, has matured as a person. If you compared him to Jessica, who is right in the middle of her rebellious period, and his grades are below average, you can see at a glance who is more fit to succeed the head. So in order to secure Jessica's position, I need to turn her into an excellent person. After doing that, I want to find an excellent husband worthy of the excellent person she will have become. A wonderful man who would truly accept Jessica and stay with her all through all the lives and joys and sorrows. Okay, dinner eaten. Now I can close and sit down. Yay! Now, Lanka has been fed. That is good, that is good. Was that Nasi trying to entrust her daughter with fulfilling some desires of her own? Nancy thought back to the days when she had no choice but to marry into the Shiyamiya family because of that unavoidable fate. She had tried to block that from her memory. She had consciously forgotten that and had actively attended to the life she has been given as a Shiramiya Natsuki. And this was all the new life she had built. But it felt like, just now, all have been casually rejected. How should I think as I live my life? I don't know. Nancy helplessly rested her head against the glass of the window. The glass cooled by the raindrops beating against it. It was somehow refreshing. And even though it had no emotions, right then it seemed to be the only thing that could understand Natsuki. Why, you want me to sing a random Disney song now? With this emotional turmoil that's going on? Fine, just for you. This is Halloween. That. Oh fuck! I need to look up the lyrics. I forgot how the song goes. God damn it! Ah. Give me a second. I am just too caught up. I'm just too caught up on the drama. Boys and girls of every age, wouldn't you like to see something strange? Come with us and you will see this is our town of Halloween. This is Halloween, pumpkins scream like a dead of night. This is Halloween, everybody make a scene, trick or treat, the neighbor's gonna die of fright. It's our town, everybody scream, in this town of Halloween. Okay, that much I'll do, for now. But thank you for the bits of puppet coins. Have the puppets sing for a little jingle. Anyway, back to the family being torn apart by greed, and also witches exist too, I guess. Even if someone showed up there and saw her like this, Natsuhi had no intentions of caring in the least. But she found herself caring. Yes, Pinot coin. Coming to an NFT near you. Actually, just kidding, there is no actual NFT. It's just Chuck E. Cheese coins. But it's with Pinocchio. And you can give it to Mystery and she will eat them like chocolate coins. But she found herself caring because it was her beloved daughter. Speaking of daughter, oh, it's you, Mom. What the heck are you doing here? Thought you were a ghost. Just like always, her words were rough, and not at all like a girl's. Instinctively, words of rebuke rose to Natsuhi's throat. However, they did so only weakly, and she was able to prevent them from escaping her lips. Jessica. I'm sorry. Your mom has an awful headache. Please leave me be. Oh. Jessica was more than slightly disconcerted by the first ever sight of feebleness from her mother. Until just now, she had been filled with the contempt for all the parents, including her mother. But now, not the slightest bit of that feeling remained. All of it had been wiped out of her mother's completely exhausted face. In this place, the words that George had told her floated back up in her mind. The parents are doing their best in their own way. They are supporting their family, so they can't afford to keep everything pleasant and have a heavy responsibility to fight. Couldn't her mother have been standing alone in a dimly lit hallway because no one had tried to understand that? Jessica didn't like her mother, so she had no instinct to give her mother words of kindness just because she looked a little frail. Therefore, in order to give those words regardless, she had to clench both of her fists and then winch the words from out the depths of her heart. It looks like you really have your hands full with that discussion. It has nothing to do with you. Please, go somewhere else. Is your headache bad? Should I go get some medicine? You don't have to trouble yourself. Please, leave me by myself. Natsuhi was not being cold to her. She just wanted her to get her daughter far away from her so that she could avoid subjecting her to a short temper. But there was no chance that her intentions would reach Jessica. Okay. Jessica hung her head, looking sad. Looking at that expression, Natsuhi realized that Jessica was trying to muster up the strength to be kind to her mother. She gave her head a small shake to drive her own unkind
じ
feelings.
ゃあ私行くよ。
Then I'll leave.
大人の邪魔にならないようにいとこたちと一緒にいるから。
I'll be with the other cousins so I don't get in the way of the adults.
じゃあ
See you.
お待ちなさい。
Wait. She called Jessica, but to make her desolate exit to a stop. Oh, what?
気遣いをありがと
Thank you for being considerate.
う。お前を残して寝込むわけにはいきません。
It isn't good for me to sleep and leave you alone.
よせよ。縁起でもないぜ。
Don't talk like that. You'll bring bad luck.
心配をかけました。
I apologize for worrying you.
もう大丈夫です。
I'm alright now.
私は行きます。
I will go. Staying here any longer with such a feeble expression would actually make her daughter feel more uncomfortable. Thinking this, Natsuki left Jessica with words of gratitude and made to depart. Broken family slowly healing. This time, it was Jessica who called out to her mother's back. Natsuki stopped, turned around and asked what she wanted. But Jessica herself didn't know what she had stopped her mother. And for a while, she muttered to herself with a slight forced smile as she hesitated over what to say. She was poking around in her pocket when she had hand touched something, and she took it out.
あのさ、母さん。
Hey mom,
私さ、今日お守りもらったんだよ。
I was given a charm today.
なんだっけな。魔除けだったっけ。
What was it? A charm against magic?
確かそのドアノブにぶら下げてるといいんだっけ。
I'm pretty sure that you were supposed to hang it from your doorknob, was it?
忘れちまったぜ。
Forget it.
私が持ってても仕方ないし。
There's no reason for me to have it, so,
母さんにあげるよ。
I'm giving it to you. It was a scorpion charm that Maria had given her by the beach that day. Although she had heard its various effects from Maria, right now Jessica's mind was blank, and all it was she could do was say even that much. Thinking about her mother probably wouldn't accept the charm anyway, Jessica had immediately drawn back the hand offered to her. So when Natsuki came back and told her and took hold of that hand, she was extremely surprised.
これは
What is this?
何かの景品？
Some kind of giveaway?
まあその私も多分そうだろうと思ってるけどよ。
Well, I think it's something like that.
こんなおもちゃみたいなお守りじゃご利益は期待できねえよな。
I guess you can't expect any benefits from a charm that looks like a toy. But her mother took the scorpion charm from her grip.
ありがとう。
Thank you.
大切にします。
I'll take good care of it.
ジェシカには今度、私が子供の頃大切にしていたお守りを代わりにあげましょう。
Sometime soon in exchange, I'll give you a charm that was important to me when I was a kid.
別にそんなつもりで渡すんじゃないぜ。
It's not like why I gave it to you,
でも
but
どうしても
well,
っていうの。
if you really say so.
では、私はもう休みます。
Then I'll rest for now.
頭痛がひどいので、
My headache is awful.
ジェシカもあまり夜更かしをしすぎないように。
Try not to stay up too late. Sure. That was heartwarming. Nancy put the charm in her pocket and turned away. She then disappeared into a dark hall.
やっぱり明日も丸一日こんな天気みたいだね。
It looks like the weather will be like this all day tomorrow after all.
やれやれ。今日の日中が嘘のようだぜ。
Damn, it's hard to believe it was dry out earlier. George Aniki and I were killing time in front of a parlor television. At that point, Jessica returned. Her face was still blank, but it looked like she had calmed down a little since she had left.
マリアはまだ肖像画前？
Is Maria still in front of the portrait?
いや、
Nope.
さっき戻ってきて。今はそっちのソファーで寝てるぜ。
She had just come back as she's sleeping over there in the sofa.
マリアにはもう遅い時間だもんな。
It is getting late, pretty late for her. Looking at the clock, it was little past 10 p.m. Even if they were going to stay up all night, it was about time to head back to our room.
一応うちのおふくろが屋敷にも部屋を用意してくれたんだけどよ。
My mom did prepare a room for us in the mansion, but
どうする？
what do you want to do?
僕はゲストハウスに戻りたいかな。
I think I'd rather head back to the guest house.
親たちの様子を見る限り、僕たちはお屋敷にいない方がいいと思う。
Judging by our parents' appearance, I think it would be better if we weren't in the mansion.
俺も同感だぜ。
I second that.
子供は邪魔せず引っ込んでろって感じみてえだからな。
It feels like they're telling us kids to mind our own business and stay out of their way.
おとなしくそうするさ。
Let's do that like good little boys and girls. After we discussed that, Auntie Rosa came into the parlor. She was looking all over relentlessly, probably trying to find Maria.
ローザおばさん。マリアならそこのソファっすよ。
Auntie Rosa, if you're looking for Maria, she's over there in the sofa.
ありがとう。
Ah, thank you.
すっかり眠っちゃってるわね。
My, she's out cold.
ベッドに移さないと。
We must move her to bed.
よかったら僕がベッドまで背負っていきましょうか。
If you like to, I can carry her to a bed.
ありがとう。助かるわ。
To have some pump moments. Thank you, that would be wonderful.
ジョージ君たちはゲストハウスに戻るの？
Will all of you return to the guest house?
それとも夏日姉さんが用意してくれた部屋に泊まるのかしら？
Or will you stay in the room Natsuhi-ne-san had prepared?
今話し合ってました。
We were just talking about that.
ゲストハウスへ戻ろうかって話になったところです。
We just decided to head over there to the guest house.
そう。
Really?
ならマリアも一緒にしてあげてもいいかしら？
Really? Then I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking Maria with you.
いとこのみんなと一緒の方がきっと安心できると思うしね。
Oh yeah, I agree. I think Rosa is a much scarier woman. But then again, Eva-san is also pretty scary as well. There's a lot of scary women in this game, let me tell ya. And I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking Maria with you. I think it'd be much more comforting for her if she was with all her cousins. It seemed that in the shadows behind those words, there might be some regret that the adults, herself included, had deeply hurt Maria's feelings.
任してくださいよおばさん。
Leave it to us, Auntie.
何しろこっちにゃマリアをあやすことに関してはエキスパートがいるっすからね。
Man, I can't really go for some Auntie Anne's right now. I want a pretzel. Leave it to us, Auntie. After all, we do have an expert at comforting Maria with us.
それは僕のことかい？
Are you talking about me?
僕だけじゃ無理だよ。
I couldn't do it by myself.
みんなでだよ。
We all need everyone together.
そうだぜ。
That's right.
バトラだってあんなにもマリアと意気投合してふざけ合ってたじゃねえかよ。
That's right. Butler, weren't you the one who hit it off with Maria when you were messing around earlier? As we said this, Auntie Rosa smiled, looking truly happy.
みんなありがとう。
Thank you, everyone.
私たちの話し合いはだいぶ遅くまでかかりそう。
It looked like our meeting will last until very late.
だから申し訳ないけどマリアをみんなにお願いするわ。
So I'm sorry for the burden, but I'll have to leave Maria in your hands.
おいマリア熟睡か？
Hey, Maria, you awake?
ゲストハウスに戻るぞ。
We're gonna go back to the guest house. Maria muttered something indistinct as if answering, but then rolled over and fell back to sleep. It looked like she was sleeping deeply.
すっかり寝込んじゃったようだぜ。
She's really out cold.
起こすのは悪いな。
It'd be bad to wake her.
僕が背負うよ。
Right, I'll carry her. Maria's body was much lighter than it looked. George Aniki picked her up and pulled her over his back. It was raining hard outside, and Aniki couldn't hold an umbrella and carry Maria at the same time. It looked like Auntie Rosa would come with us as far as the guest house to help out. However, when she heard Uncle Krause's voice call out to her, she had no choice but to return. Oh dear. Oh dear.
もう戻らないと。
I have to go back.
皆さん、ゲストハウスまでお戻りですか？
Is everyone returning to the guest house? After all, we left on the hall on the way to the entrance. The door to the servants' room opened and Shannon-chan stepped out.
だいぶ暗くなっておりますので、私がご案内させていただきます。
It has become very dark, so allow me to guide you.
ちょうどよかったわ、シャノンちゃん。
Perfect timing, Shannon-chan.
ジョージ君がマリアをおぶっていってくれるの。
George-kun is going to carry Maria there.
傘をさしてあげてくれないかしら。
Can you hold an umbrella for him?
はい、かしこまりました。
Yes, certainly. Shannon-chan brought umbrellas for each of us and added a flashlight to guide the way. As we opened the front door, the downpour was quite terrific. It looked like we wouldn't have any spare time to take a pleasant walk and enjoy the nighttime rose garden.
兄貴、重くねえか？
Aniki, is she too heavy?
俺が背負うぜ。
Want me to carry her?
大丈夫だよ。
It's alright.
マリアちゃんくらい背負えるよ。
I can at least carry Maria-chan.
本当にありがとうね。
I'm truly grateful.
マリアをよろしくお願い。
Please take care of Maria.
わかりました。
Right, we understand.
じゃあ、おやすみなさい、おばさん。
In that case, good night, Auntie.
それでは、お送りしてまいります。
And I'll see them over and return here.
ええ。よろしく。
Yes, please. Auntie Rosa saw us off.
マリア、
Maria,
いつも。ごめんね。
sorry for everything. Rosa's mumbly voice didn't reach the person in question, nor anyone else, but disappeared beneath the sound of the rain. After cutting through the rainy rose garden, we arrived at the guest house.
俺がマリアを背負って立候補すりゃよかったぜ。
If only I'd applied for the position of Maria
そうそ
carrier.
や。傘を差してくれるシャノンちゃんのでっけえお胸を二の腕でたっぷり堪能できたってのによ。
Man, what a pervert. Then I have gotten to rub Shannon-chan's huge chest all over my arm as she had the umbrella over me.
そんなつもりじゃないよ。誤解だよ。
It's not on purpose, it was a misunderstanding.
そうしないと、ジョージ様が濡れてしまうと思いまして。
I thought if I didn't, George somehow would get all wet.
ほーら、バカなこと言ってないで入るぜ。
Come on, quit babbling and go in. After being nudged by Jessica, Shannon folded her umbrella and went into the guest house.
お召し物を濡らしてしまった方はいらっしゃいませんか？
Has anyone gotten their clothes wet?
タオルを用意いたしますが。
I'll bring some towels if you like.
そこまで気を使わなくていいぜ。
You don't need to worry about us that much.
ありがとうよ、シャノンちゃん。
Thanks, Shannon-chan.
そうだ。
Oh yes.
僕たちはこれからトランプでもして少し遊ばないかって話なんだけど、
We were saying earlier that we want to play some cards.
少し一緒しないかい？
Do you want to stay with us for a while?
あれ？
Are?
今日のシフト、深夜勤は誰になってんだ？
Who had the night shift on today's schedule?
親族会議中は特別シフトになってたと思いました。
I believe there is a special schedule for a duration of family conference.
少し変更も出てるみたいなので、ちょっと確認してきます。
I think there are a few changes, so I'll go and check.
ああ、わざわざ屋敷に戻らないとわからないんなら無理に。
Wait, if you have to go all the way back to the mansion to find out, you don't have to force yourself.
大丈夫です。
Ah, it's alright.
ゲストハウスの使用人室でわかりますので。
I get found it from the servant room in the guest house.
ちょっと失礼しますね。
Please excuse me for a short while. I'd admit I love the coziness of having fun time with your cousin that you see very sparsely in big houses anyway. Yeah, I barely ever see my relatives, let alone my cousins. But, you know, we weren't as active as we used to be when we were kids. Does make me almost wish we had that bond again, but whatever, I guess. Shannon-chan gave a quick bow and went to the guest house servant room. The rest of us headed for the cousin's room and put Buddy on the bed for the time being. Maria was sleeping very deeply, and there was absolutely no sign of her eyes opening. We got some drinks out of the room's refrigerator and spent some time playing cards while drinking. That's honestly fine. I dislike my cousins anyway. Yeah, I dislike at least one of my cousins. The rest were pretty chill, but you know, I haven't spoken to them in a long, long while. Cousins are all wild, so I'd probably be safer not hear them. Yeah, I guess it's for the best sometimes. I don't know what they would think of me if they found out I have a lolicon, you know? Oh,
カノン君
Canon Queen.
源氏様までこちらに
Even Genji-san is here.
今夜のシフトはどうなっているのでしょうか
What is happening with tonight's shift?
クラウス様の命令があってね
Kraus-san has given an order.
シフトの大掛かりな変更があったんだよ
There had been modifications made to most of the schedules. Indeed.
ゴーダがお屋敷の深夜勤に変更になった
Goda has been changed to the night shift at the mansion.
シャノンとカノンはゲストハウスの深夜
You and Canon have the night shift in the guest house.
勤私と熊沢はゲストハウスに泊まるようにとのご命令だ
Komasawa-san and I have been ordered to spend the night in the guest house.
お前も今夜はこのままこちらにとどまるようたった今電話があった
We just now had a phone call stating that you have to remain here as well. Eh?
ずいぶん大掛かりな変更ですね
That's quite a large modification.
お屋敷とゲストハウスの当番がまるっきり逆になってるじゃないですか
The shifts at the guest house and the mansion have been completely reversed, haven't they? Originally, Shannon and Canon had been given a night shift in the mansion, while the night shift in the guest house where all relatives were staying had been assigned to Goda, who had an abundance of experience in entertaining. Komasawa-san was scheduled to stay in the guest house, while Genji had been scheduled to stay in the mansion. However, it seemed that Kraus had suddenly ordered that schedule be modified. The shifts at the guest house and the mansion had all been reversed, and Genji was spending the night at the guest house.
多分ベアトリーチェ様の手紙のせいだろうね
It's probably because of Beatrice-sama's letter.
多分って
Probably. Why?
あんな怪しげな手紙が現れたらクラウス様が僕たちを疑うのは当然だからね
When such a mysterious letter appeared, it was only natural that Kraus-sama had suspect one of us.
親方様直属の僕たちを極力親族会議の席から遠ざけたかったんだろうよ
We served directly under masters, so Kraus-sama probably wanted to keep us as far away from the family conference as possible. Genji, Shannon, and Canon were all permitted to wear the Ishiramiya family crest on a one-winged eagle, as servants who served directly under Kinzo. Of course, since they were working for the Ishiramiya family, they had to obey anyone's orders, but their only boss was Kinzo. Since only Kinzo had held the right to employ them, even Kraus could not have been told them to dismiss for his own accord. Because of this, they were often viewed by Kraus and the others as Kinzo's underlings and shunned. And in reality, Kinzo has seldom let alone other than them enter his body. You could probably call this sudden shift change a clear expression of that sense of distrust. Considering that Kinzo had left to live, this would have definitely be the last family conference before the problem of the inheritance could come up. On top of that, the mysterious letter that had claimed to be from Beatrice had dropped in out of the blue. Kraus definitely wanted to keep Kinzo's loyal subjects away from the table, such as delicate and impossible discussion. Oops. Damn, this is not what I wanted. Exit. There we go.
ではすまんが私は向こうでくつろがせてもら
If you excuse me, I'll go rest.
うもし何かあったらすぐに呼ぶよ
If anything happens, call me immediately.
今夜のお客様は特別だ
Our company tonight is special.
はいかしこまりました源氏様
Yes, certainly, Genji-sama. Genji nodded back and went behind the screen, took off his jacket, and slowly began to relax for a day's worth of tension.
今お戻りになられたのはお子様方
The ones who just returned now, were they the children? Yes.
親族の方々はお屋敷で会議を。
Yes, the other relatives having a conference in the
だい
mansion.
ぶ長引きそうな雰囲気だったかな。
It looked like it would drag on until much later.
なら気楽だね。
That would be comfortable.
これ以上の深夜になって、しかもこの天気。
It's already this late, and there's this weather.
多分親族の皆さんはお屋敷の方のお部屋にお泊まりさ。
Probably the rest of the relatives would spend the night in their rooms in the mansion.
多分ね。
Yeah, probably.
源氏様がいないから言うけど、ゲストハウス行きになってちょっと嬉しかったかな。
I'm only saying this because Genji-sama isn't around, but I'm a little happy that I was sent to the guest house, I think. Oh,
どうしてだい？
why is that?
意地悪な奥様やエヴァ様から離れられたから。
Because you were able to distance yourself from the bullying of Madame and Eva-sama.
それとも別の理由があるのかい？
Or do you have another reason?
別の理由なんかありません。
I don't have any other reasons.
そっか。
I see.
なら二人で深夜勤を頑張ろう。
Let's do our best with our midnight shift.
よろしく、姉さん。
Counting on you, Ness-san.
私ついさっきお子様方にお部屋で遊ばないかとお呼ばれしてて。
Just now, I was asked to go to the children's room and play with them. Shannon hung her head apologetically and made uncertain glances towards Cannon's eyes. Cannon didn't try to meet her gaze and spoke curtly as he sighed. It looked like he didn't plan on indulging his sister.
ダメだよ。
You can't.
深夜勤を仰せつかってる。
You're assigned to the night shift.
それに僕たち家具には遊びのお誘いは必要ない。
And besides that, it is not necessary for furniture like us to respond to the invitation to play.
わかるね。
You understand, right?
そんなこと分かってます。
Yes, I do understand. Shannon dropped her shoulders slightly. She had already expected that Cannon had considered rules to be very important. Would probably say something like that, but even so, he was a little discouraged. As Cannon turned the pages of logbook, he spoke without facing Shannon.
ならお子様方お待たせしてしまってるね。
In that case, you must be keeping the children waiting.
深夜勤に当たってしまったからご一緒できないと謝ってこなきゃ。
You will have to apologize and tell them that you have the night shift and won't be able to stay with them.
行ってきなよ。
Off you go then. Yes.
私謝ってくるね。
I'll just go apologize. Shannon hurriedly stood from her seat before her brother's mood would change, gave a quick bow, and flew out of the servant's room. As he watched her disappear, Cannon took a deep breath. Genji's voice came from beyond the screen.
カノ、
Cannon,
私がここにいるからお前も行くといい。
I'll be here, so you should go too.
源氏様、
Genji-sama,
誘われたのはシャノンだけです。
Shannon was the only one called.
僕は別に誘われては。
It's not like I was invited.
その場にいなかったからお声をかけられなかっただけだ。
It's only because you were not there at the time.
言えばお前も誘われている。
If you had been, you would have been invited as well.
たまには子供らしく遊んでくるといい。
It is good to play as children from time to time.
いえ、僕には必要ない行為です。
No, that's not something I need to do.
人の子には遊びも必要でしょうが、
A human child may have need to play,
僕らは家具ですから。
but we are furniture.
そうか。
Is that so?
姉さんだって家具です。
Nissan is also furniture.
人のふりをしたって後で苦しむだけなのに。
Even if she pretends to be a person, it will only hurt her, hurt her
僕はそれ
later.
が分かっているから
I
人
understand.
に近づきたくないだけなんです。
I understand that, so I try not to get too close to people. Genji did not say anything after that. A few moments passed, and he stood up, used a pot of hot water to make some hot chocolate from powder, and served it to Cannon as well.
そりゃ本当かよ。
Holy crap! Holy crap, Louis, seriously?
そりゃ知らなかったぜ。
I did not know that.
バカ。
が大きいぜ。
Keep it down, dumbass.
マリアが起きちゃうだろ。
And wake up Maria. Valley was surprised that he yelled obnoxiously and scattered his cards everywhere. His voice caused Maria to turn over, but she soon fell back into a deep sleep. Jessica gave him a jab and lowered his voice.
あ、いや、しかし言われてみれば確かにそれっぽい雰囲気はあったんだよな。
Well, I think I'm gonna end things here. Say real quick. There we go. We went on for a good 2 hours today, so I think it's a good time to stop. We'll continue it maybe next week on more Umineko. As things are starting to spice up a bit in the Ushiramiya family. But I would like to thank everyone for coming by today. It is very much appreciated to you coming to listen to me reading you a little story of the family trauma. Also, thank you for the head pats. Thank you. Much appreciated. I will go ahead and rest my voice box for today. But another clear reminder, my merch is still on the pin in chat, and also right here in the corner down there where it says pre-order. You can go to my Big Cartel and Misery Dollhouse, as well as my other links. Can follow me there, support me, all that junk. But most importantly, my merch, because it expires on the 21st of October, and I'll be closing orders by then. Have a good Christmas. Thank Prior Draco Fox. Thanks everyone for coming by and showing support, and the subs, and everything. I'm very excited about that pet Poku. Yes, thank you. It's just a VTuber asset, but it's very fitting for the season. Well, but again, thank you everyone. Thanks for the sweet misery. Yeah, see you all later. See you all next time. I'll see you Sunday for a pump stream for the movie night. But again, take care. Ooh-ah. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.